Good evening, everybody, and very welcome to tonight's broadcast of the European Championships qualifier for the World Bridge Federation next year. With me this evening, I have Rory Egan, co-founder of Grandmaster Bridge, and Andrea Pagani, international coach and teaches in Ireland at the moment. You're very welcome, lads.
Thanks, Thomas. Great to be here.
So we're going to go straight into the action, and we're just going to have a look at the two events today. Today we have the open teams has started, and we also have the senior teams. So we'll have a look at the open teams for the moment up to round 4, and we can see probably some of the usual suspects. Top 8 will qualify. We have Sweden in first, Norway in second, Bulgaria in third, Ireland in fourth, England in fifth, Spain in sixth, Israel in seventh, and the Netherlands in eighth. So they're playing 5 matches today. They're on their 5th round, lads. I'm sure you've been looking at some of the bridge, and we'll have a discussion about that in just 1 second. Now we'll move on to the seniors. And the seniors, there's the group at the stage. Ireland is in 14th place. 30 would be average, by the way. They played 3 matches today. So top 8 again qualify for that. As you know, the bridge is on Real Bridge. It's not on BBO. So they're playing in the home venue. And then tomorrow, we have the mixed teams are starting. And there's the mixed teams. So Ireland are playing in the 4 events. And then the day after tomorrow, we have the ladies. Oh, sorry, the ladies here. And they're the 4 events. So it'll be interesting. And we're hoping to do a broadcast each evening, and we might get some other people on to have a look. But what we'll do now is, if you don't mind, we're going to go straight over and have a look at a couple of the matches. Now, if you let me know, what match do you think we should go straight in and have a look at?
Who's playing on the Irish Open at the moment?
We'll have a look there now. I just have a look on the screen there.
You scroll down.
There we have Ireland v Iceland, and we have Mesber and Fitzgibbon as East-West, and we have John Carroll and Mark Moran as North-South. So we'll slip over to Adam Mesber and Nick Fitzgibbon.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know how many board
good
matches.
One already. What a board.
Oh, 7-0 Trump. I think it was made, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a claim.
Okay, so we'll have a look at the scores. So 14-6 at the moment, I think, to Iceland, isn't it? Yeah, they're 23-11 up. And if we have a look at the overalls. Oh, I just moved to another board, sorry. So they're dropping slightly by only getting 6. They're the current standings.
Would you just look at the board there, Thomas, and give your opinion of how they got caught out by the 4 spades?
On which one?
Board,
have a look. Yeah, sorry, have a look. The 4 spades.
It's board number 11. They seem to have done. Oh, is that their board?
Board 11 is 6 spades minus 1 by East-West. They lost 2 aces.
One club is strong.
So that's a good board for the Irish, actually,
yes,
isn't it?
Yeah.
They went too high.
Yes.
Sorry, Andrea. Go on. Give me your idea of the bidding there.
Well, as far as I know, they must play strong club because they only one club.
They play.
Then after 3 diamonds. Preemptive by North, East bid 3-0 Trump, which I don't know what that means.
Well, it must mean I have a stop in diamonds.
It should be
and
diamond stopper and a few points in a range that I don't know, but could be like 8-9 or 8-10, something.
Yeah, something like that. That's what they bid. Yeah. It's not,
And-
and by the way, Slam, I don't think is unreasonable on that auction. But I mean, surely
No,
they,
as soon as you know that your partner has some points, the only bad news is that your partner has diamond points.
not if it's the ace, Andrea, not if it's a guaranteed stop. But surely there must be a way that they can find out.
Oh,
You
I
know,
think so.
do you know what I mean? Like, it can't be outrageous for them to be able to find out.
Well, at the end of the day, you lose 2 aces. So the Slam is wrong.
Well, I mean, how can you not find out that you're missing
Yeah,
2
absolutely.
aces?
That's
I
the
mean,
point. That's the point.
like 6 spades. I mean, surely there's some other bid that can be bid over 6 spades. Like, surely
Yeah, I
he,
think so.
surely
I
he
think-
could, surely he could key card in clubs or key card in diamonds or key card in something else. Like, I mean, like 6 spades is just a bit of a gash, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Not knowing their agreements, I think that 4 diamonds will do anyway.
Well,
They
I mean, we are talking about the European Championships, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about intermediates, or we're not talking about low-level masters. We're talking about people who hope to play who play at the very, very, very best level and are trying to qualify to play in the World Championships. I mean, if you were a coach, you'd be disappointed with that, if they were your
Absolutely.
team, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So they seem to have got back to near a draw. That 6 hearts was a 7-note trump that we were just having a look at there, lads. But it's a few scores there, not many. There's only not much of the field. A quarter of the field maybe are in a Grand Slam. Mesber and Fitzgibbons, 7-note
Can we
trump.
check the auction again?
We most certainly can, yeah. So again, a very interesting 3 club. Look at that. So 3 clubs, very aggressive. Only a 6-card suit at the 3 level, not good honors in the suit. I mean, most teachers wouldn't teach their students to open that. But again, this is the level that we're dealing with.
But
So
especially at the first hand, Thomas, do you not think that's really aggressive?
it is, but I mean, that's the style, Rory.
Yeah, that's their
If you
style.
go through, you'll see that more people will be doing this than not doing this. But anyway, 3 clubs, and it goes double from east because they're too good to bid anything else. 3-note trump from south, trying to muddy the waters. I mean, look at the number of points north-south have. They've 7 points between them, and they bid to 3-note trump. So it becomes interesting, doesn't it?
That is incredible. Yeah.
It is.
A double from 3-note trump, saying it's our hand. I've got a reasonable hand over here. Pass, knowing that it's not going to go well. I mean, 3-note trump's they're not going to make any tricks in 3-note trump, are they? As north-south.
Not really.
So what is
Well,
Adam's 5 clubs there then?
5 clubs is tell me what you have, like do something sensible, and 6 clubs is, well, I don't know what it was alerted as.
It's a balanced hand.
Asking for a suit.
Pick a suit.
Right, okay.
And 7-note trump was, I don't think I need to pick a suit. If you can double and bid 6 clubs, I think I must be able to make 13 tricks.
Consider it a slightly different hand. If you take out just 1 point, but also the 10 of hearts. So you take away Jack 10 of hearts and give them 2 pips. And this hand is completely different. You cannot jump to 7-note trump with such a hand.
Yeah.
Over 6 club.
But what points can your partner have? Where are their values for what they've done?
Well, wherever they are, you don't count 13 tricks. The point is that without the Jack and the 10 of hearts, you don't count 13.
Oh, it's a lot harder to count 13.
Yeah,
it's a lot harder to count 13. And I think 7-note trump was, I'm not willing to bid hearts because I you know what I mean? We don't know what's going on. Like, I mean, he's 5 tricks in his own hand. If his partner has the ace of spades and ace of diamonds, which they expect, but is that enough for him to be doing what they've done?
And counting on 2 club tricks.
Well, even if you don't get 2 club tricks, I mean, you're going to have issues. If they don't lead a club, you know where the club is. So now you might have a squeeze.
Andrea, could you picture North without the king and the jack? And you're sitting over it with the ace and the queen. I mean,
No,
Well, I mean, like, look at the
personally,
hand.
I wouldn't, but I don't know their style. Sometimes they beat at 3 level with 5 cards and no honors. So if you don't know exactly their bidding style, if you cannot check their whole system, I don't know what to tell you.
It's going to be
Generally,
tricky,
yes,
yeah.
North must have Jack 10 of clubs, of course. It's the minimum that I can have.
So Ireland are back up to nearly a draw at this stage, 9.6162. And we can see. So we'll have a quick look at the butler. So we can see Ola Rimstad and Michael Rimstad from Sweden, aren't they? Tor Helnes and Ger Helmo from Norway. Bus driver and Stuart Brink from the Netherlands, but playing for Sweden.
Switzerland.
Switzerland, thank you, Andrea. Yeah, the Israel are in 4th. Christian Bacca and Tor, they're Norway, are they?
Yeah, Norway.
Yeah, Cedric Lorenzi. Now Lorenzi Zini.
That's France.
Yeah, but he was another one who had incidences of online misbehavior. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but came clean and fessed up and got a ban for a certain amount of time.
oh, that's right. Yeah, there were 3 of them who came clean, isn't it?
Yeah, and then we have Tom Hanlon and Hugh McGann, Irish pair in 7th place. Again, plus 1.14 in that company of the board.
Very good. Very
well,
good.
It shows you're on the right side of what you're doing. You're on the right side of average, the quality. And Thomas Bess is in 12th place. Simon Holt, Sweden again. Herbst, they're Germany, aren't they? Bild and Jensen, they're Denmark. A lot of quality on that in that field. And now we might have to discuss about why there's 44 players, dummy 1 and dummy 2. It is interesting. It is interesting. We just go back and we'll show. So if we have a look, lads, and we just click on Italy for the moment.
Okay, do you want to give the background to this, Thomas, so that people know what we're discussing?
Yeah, basically Italy didn't need to play in the European Championships as hosts. They are entitled to get their teams playing in the event. So if we just go up and we have a look at the registration of the participants and we go to the Italian, we can see that there's only 1 team entered for Italy. And if we click on the names, we can see that there's a Fantoni who is playing for Italy as well, Fluvio Fantoni. And if you were looking on the screen, anybody observant on the real bridge, you can see that there's a discussion going on here. It's a shame what's happening. I'm with Fluvio. Very unusual championships. I'm with Ukraine. It's a shame what's happening. And basically what's happening is there's nobody playing against Italy in essence. They are refusing, or by not putting lineups in, thereby they're not able to play against Italy. And it means that Italy is in the tournament, sitting there, I think, with nobody playing against them.
Well, this all comes back to about five or 6 years ago. I think it's nearly 6 years now.
There we are. Look, dummy 1 and dummy 2.
Yeah.
It comes back to the, yes, Rory.
Yeah, Fulvio Fantoni and Claudio Nunes.
I can't remember the exact year, but it was a European or World Championship. It was a big event.
Yeah, but there had been talk about them, and that they must have some sort of communication between them, because they were making some extraordinary plays, and there had been a lot of talk about this.
There had been an awful lot of talk. I mean, the one play that sticks out to mind, Rory, is where you can you can take 2 tricks off a slam, I think. I hope I want to remember this
That's right,
correctly.
yes, I remember
You can
this
take
one, yeah.
2 tricks off a slam, but they don't take 2 tricks. They took a trick and a rough, and then another trick and another rough. And of course, how did they know to give the rough, or how did they know to make that play? Because had the second trick not been roughed, well, you might not have got your other ace, and you wouldn't take that risk. I mean, it's all about risk versus reward. There was a hand earlier on where Ireland was in 3-0 trump, and they didn't take a finesse, because had the finesse lost, they'd go down in 3-0 trump. Even though the finesse had a 75% chance of success, they guaranteed their contract. They didn't risk it. So there was a lot of analysis done of statistics.
I think it was Nunes in particular, because he apparently did it very, very quickly. And,
yes.
It was just, there was no thought behind it. And people said no one would risk a defensive slam like that.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
and he said he called it a blackout. He had a blackout at the table.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not. We know the statistics don't lie, is the truth. So you can see here that it's very careful what's happening. I mean, the teams aren't putting in lineups in effect, because you know, you sign in a commitment form to play in these championships, and if you don't turn up and don't play in them, there are implications. Now, I mean, the reality, I think, of the situation is that if nobody plays against them, well, there's nothing the powers that be can do. So if you when people have time, if you want to bridge winners, there are many articles of discussion with lots of players weighing in a little bit about what's happening, what's going on. Well done, players. If this continues, it will send a very clear message to the authorities. I mean, the players must feel that this is the only thing they can do. You know, Scotland.
Yeah, I think the situation has come to a head now, because Fantoni and Nunes were found guilty because there was quite a lot of evidence, and I'm sure if you look up the internet,
but then they went. They
got a 3-year ban from their own federation. They got a 5-year ban that was overturned by the European Federation
by CAF.
And I think the ACBL,
by the court arbitration, the sport in Switzerland.
Yeah. So effectively, the Italians were allowed to put in Fantoni on this team because there was no effective ban on him.
Very good.
And he could have sued to say, why don't you? But I think there's a kind of cowardice around here that everybody's afraid of being sued everywhere. And I think
there's a very simple way to solve that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very simple way to solve that.
How?
Disband all the organizations and reband them. Reform them with the different rules that it's by invitation only. It's very simple. I mean,
this thing, you know, this thing of invitation is not needed really, because there is a committee, the credential committee.
Yeah, but the credentials committee have obviously allowed Fantoni to play.
Yeah, but that's the committee fault.
Well, there's many. Sorry,
well, isn't Boy Brueggeland on that committee?
No, I don't know whether he is, but Boya and his partner withdrew from the Norwegian team. Sabine Auckland and Roy Welland withdrew from the German national team. So they wouldn't.
And just so as everybody's clear, Boy was very much in the forefront of getting making sure that
cleaning up the game.
He thought were cheating. We're going to be exposed.
Organize like a team of anti-cheaters, online agents, something like that.
A high-level commission of inquiry. Yeah. Now let's have a quick
What's your
look.
thoughts on it, Andrea, as an Italian?
Well, we always had these kind of problems within the Italian Federation, and I think that they never managed to handle things properly. That's why I'm out since 2000. I mean,
I have to agree with you on that. There was a lot of discussion about the brilliant blue team, and nothing was ever. I don't think something was proven against some later players, but the real greats, there was nothing really proven against them. But there was a lot of talk about it.
Something in the mid-70s came up with a couple of people from.
But they were not the.
It
the
was a big
greats.
scandal at the time. It was a big scandal, and but later other people came up with this behavior, not only in Italy, and lately it seems to be very, very common. By the way, in the last few years.
Exactly. I mean, we've had the German doctors, we've had the Fantoni and Nunes, and they probably the biggest one. Well, I suppose Fantoni and Nunes are the biggest ones, but then the Israelis of Lothar.
There have been many.
Yeah, but they're the three huge ones. That and Boy Bruegel and
Fantoni and Nunes was the big one because
I think so. Yeah,
because of their fame, they won a lot in the last years.
They were 1 and 2 in the world.
Yeah.
1 and 2 in the world.
I remember
in fact, in one of the rounds that they were supposedly cheating, I was sitting behind them. It was in the Europeans. So I was just looking at it there, and I was just amazed to be sitting behind such brilliant bridge players.
Well, I used to kiss Fulvio a lot. We were in good terms. And
I thought he was an extraordinarily nice individual. He asked me to play dummy for him when Nunes went off.
Very nice. It's very
the bathroom, nice. Yeah.
And I remember that a few years back, an English bridge journalist asked me during the rise of this new pair, Fantoni Nunes, and which I knew since a long time. And he asked me, "Are they clean?" And I said, "Yeah, as far as I know, they're clean." And I think they were. Maybe they got corrupted by the will to win every single time.
Exactly.
Well, it is to be fair, Andrea. I mean, even though there's no money for the event, the prestige of winning the event does add money to their price tag for people to hire them on their team.
That's the point.
And they're paid a large amount of money to play professionally in ACBL, NABCs, and World Championships and European Championships. I mean, it is substantial money.
It is. But by the way, Fantoni and Nunes were playing in the US Nationals for some time, and getting good money for that from the sponsors. And as soon as they got banned from the EBL for 3 or 5 years, automatically the ACBL, the ACBL banned them for life. They don't want to see them anymore, which is something that I understand. If you're a cheater in a mind sport, you shouldn't be allowed to play anymore.
It's true. Yeah, it's tricky. I don't know about never. I don't know about never.
The tragedy of this, Thomas and Andrea, I think, is that these guys were so good that to do the extra yard, to get that, to stay on top by cheating, it was unnecessary. They would have still been 1 and 2.
Well, they're still they were world-class players. I mean, it's to get that little edge that made the difference.
Just like the blue team, the Italian blue team, that were so far ahead of the rest of the world, they were so far ahead because they created a bidding system that no one could compete with, and they had probably uniquely some of the greatest players that have ever played the game on it. So they didn't need to cheat.
Yeah, but that's not to say
this is the awful thing about it.
That is the awful thing, Rory. Yeah, that if somebody's so good you know, it's like when you're teaching and people ask about cheating. I mean, I always say to my students, like, it's easier to learn how to play the game than it is to learn how to cheat and then learn how to cover it up.
Yeah.
It's just easier to learn how to play the game. There's
and
less
by the
work.
way, if you're not a professional player and you want to cheat, most of the times what you the unauthorized information that you exchange with your partner doesn't help you at all, because you look for the wrong information. Correct. What I mean is that to be a great cheater, you must be a great player.
That's right. Yeah.
If you are a bad player and you cheat, well, it usually doesn't help. I saw it happening, and
yeah.
Now, folks,
just before we finish, because I know we're on a tight time frame, but I'd like to just do for the next little bit is just have a quick look at the mixed teams, Ireland's first 4 matches in the mixed teams, and Ireland's first 4 matches in the ladies teams, and just tell me what you think. I mean, it's not, we won't hold you to anything or anything like that. So the mixed teams are there. I'll just make ourselves a little bit smaller, folks, just so as we can see the whole screen. 21 teams in play. It's quite a tricky event to call, because it's only back on the rostrum recently. I don't know whether there has been one recently. Now, playing for Ireland are, let's see if I can get that. Oh, I have to go a different way. My apologies. Playing for Ireland, we have Caroline Cummins playing with John Noonan. Caroline has represented Ireland at ladies level. John and Caroline have won many national tournaments. Michael McAuliffe is playing with Sandra Newell. Sandra Newell, as ladies partner, would be Caroline Cummins. She's played for Ireland at ladies level as well. David Walsh and Louise Mitchell. David Walsh has played on the Irish Open team, and Louise has also played on the ladies, and their non-playing captain is Harold Curran from Belfast, Northern Ireland. So it's a decent enough team in terms of, yeah. If you look at all the other players who are playing in the other events, and I'd hope that they have a chance at doing well. I mean, a lot will depend on the early days in the tournament. So we just have a quick look at the seniors.
They're the sort of team. They're the sort of team, the mixed. They are the sort of team that, if on a good day, they can beat anybody.
There's a lot of quality there. Now we just have a quick look at the ladies, and then we go through.
This, I think, is very interesting.
Well, Siobhan, I think, has played a couple of times, would be the least experienced out of all the players. But again, very young, and
she's very good, though. She's
excellent, a super player.
She's just risen so quickly. Maybe that's this will be a great experience.
It would be fabulous. Hilary Dowling, Long, McDonough is playing with Siobhan. We have Gilda playing with Rebecca O'Keefe Brown, and we have Jeannie Fitzgerald and Joan Kenny. And again, I think that's one of the strongest teams we could be fielding. Lots of experience there. Breed Campbell is married to Terry Walsh, who's on the senior team, and again would have a lot of experience at these events, knowing how to
and help. An excellent organizer as well. You couldn't get a better
non-playing secretary of Dublin South. And works really hard for Bridge. So we would again hope that they would have a good chance to finish in the top 8. It's a big ask, folks.
Huge, yeah.
Like top 8 in any of these events are absolutely, I mean, really, really difficult to do. There's a lot of professional teams. So we just have a look at the Irish mixed for the first, and we can see what we think for that. Where's Ireland? There we are.
They're playing
Nathan.
England, yeah.
Oh, so again, there's going to be a tough start playing against England, Israel, Russia, and Romania. Now, that's a tough day. There's 3 teams there out of 4 who would expect to be in the top 8 in the mixed. England, Israel, and Russia, I would expect. I think Russia, the Russian team might have even won a gold or a silver in one of the mixed events in the last number of years. I must get my stats out before tomorrow night, lads. But just getting organised was tough enough for today. So that's a tough start. And after tomorrow evening, we'll have a good indication to see where they are. If they can do well against England and Israel and Russia, we'll be giving them a great little bit of a chance. So we'll just have a quick look now at the ladies. Was that the ladies? No, I think that was the mixed.
Yeah.
Now, the ladies, again, the ladies have a tremendously difficult start. Those 4 teams would all expect to be in the top 8. The Netherlands would be expecting to medal. Sweden would be expecting to be in the top 8, if not medaling. England has a great tradition in the women's competition. I don't know who their full team is, but they've won medals and qualified for the Worlds most of the times that the championships have been on. So again, there's not going to be any easy matches in the women's teams.
No, even Denmark and Poland are extremely
well.
strong.
You see, there's only 19 teams, and with only 19 teams, an awful lot of the countries. There's 31 teams in the Open, by the way, 20 something in the seniors and 21 in the mixed. So with only 19 teams, the less experienced teams aren't turning up for the event. So there's really, I can't see an easy match in that 19. Can you? It's going to be a big ask for the Irish ladies, but again, great experience for them, and we wish them well. So, and then we'll just move on to the Opens tomorrow. Tomorrow we have to see. This is going to be interesting. We'll click on Ireland. I'm trying to look when Ireland are playing Italy. Coming quite near the end of the tournament, Ireland are playing Italy, so they don't have to do anything at the moment. So if we have a look at how they got on today, they had a good win against Estonia, 13-7, just about. Small loss to Bulgaria, a nice win, and a nice win against Portugal and Hungary, and then a loss against Iceland. So that 9th puts them 1 place out of the top 8. So that's that again, lots and lots of bridge to be played in this. Look at the number of matches, 31 matches, including Bye. I remember playing in a tournament once, lads, and I was very happy that Bye was playing in it, because I just finished ahead of them. And at one point I said, who's this team of Bye? They can't be doing very well, because we were doing so badly. And we found out that it was the team that you didn't get to play against. So in effect, we were last. So again, tomorrow they're playing Ukraine, Russia, Lithuania. They have a sit out, and Poland. So I think Poland and Russia would be the strongest of those 2 teams, would they?
I think so.
And now finally, we will just have a little look at the seniors for tomorrow. They'll be exhausted because they've 4 matches.
I think it's a very strong senior team.
The strength, the senior team is, as always, we have great results with the seniors of late. They've qualified for the World Championships, I think, the last 2 times, and just narrowly missed out on a bronze medal in a European Championships. So they just played 3 matches today. They beat Iceland. They lost narrowly to Greece, and not a great result against Latvia. Tomorrow they've 4 matches, gentlemen. They've Russia, Spain, Switzerland, and Bulgaria. I don't know many of the players, but I can't see them being any too strong. Can you? They should have a chance to make a little bit of a move tomorrow.
Absolutely.
They should have a chance. And finally, we'll just have a look at the tables, and we can just see if there's any other teams. Where is it gone? So there's the tables. Spain in top of the table, Sweden, Norway, France, Denmark, Israel, Italy not having played aboard, Iceland and Ireland. So they're the top 9 teams, with Hungary very narrowly in 10th. So it's always going to be tight in the Open Championships. There's Wales. Remember, Wales got 0. Wales and Scotland have got 0, and Ukraine have all got 0s for not playing against and Slovenia. But of course, if nobody plays against them, I don't think it makes a difference.
It doesn't, but they might withdraw at some point.
I think that might be the best thing to do, and I think it might be the only thing to do.
Yeah,
they might find it difficult to do it legally. That's
Well,
why
not if, well, but no, but not if, no, I mean, I understand, yes, but I mean, I think everything could be arranged if they move it,
there
in
must
the
be
right way.
one way or another too.
There has to. Anyway, this story is going to roll over the next week, boys. I don't think we've finished it, and hopefully you might be able to drop in and say hello to me over the next week, and we'll be continuing on this discussion. But for the moment, we're going to leave it there.
Thanks, Thomas. Enjoyed that.
You're very welcome. Thanks, Andrea. Thanks, Rory.
Thank you.
Good night.